following show is being broadcasted from an undisclosed location. Two former special operators have combined their badassery and now sharing it with the world.
They ain't alive no more.
All with a beer and a smile. This is the Savage Actual Podcast. And now your hosts, combat vets with 20-plus deployments between the two of them and enough testosterone to operate the power grid of Los Angeles. Savage Actual. Now your hosts, Jason and Patrick.
So what do you think's different? You told me out in the parking lot, my driveway, that you're 47.
Yep.
So what do you think, looking back to 27-year-old 20 years ago, like what do you think has changed, like compared to old you? Like where do you think you're at now, like mentally? Like what's improved? How do you look at things differently this time?
I come to realize that life is really short and you have to take advantage of the situations that are in front of you in a respectful manner that you're not stepping on anybody to get ahead. Treat others the way you want to be treated. I don't burn people. I don't lie to people. I tell the honest truth, even when the honest truth hurts sometimes. But, I think now I'm more mature through the age of the life that I've lived. And people gotta understand, I started drinking alcohol at 6 years old. I started smoking weed at 6 years old. I grew up in the punk rock era in Huntington Beach. I went through some challenging times. I see some drugs being used at a super young age in a motel. I lived with my father and my mom. Or my father. But I was around gangs. I was, getting jumped in and out of a gang at the age of 13. I went through so much stuff that I really didn't have a childhood. And when I made money and I had security, I was a kid. I went out and I had fun. I'd go to Vegas and just enjoy myself. I still play Xbox, man. I'm playing Modern Warfare. I have fun with my kids.
I played with you.
Yeah.
Right.
I have fun with my kids. I'm able to grow up with them and I'm able to love that and give them the love that I never had as a child. I grab my boys every time they come to school. I grab them and say, I'm proud of you. And that's human nature. That's what humans do with each other. As parents, you want to raise your child the right way is grab them, say you love them, say you're proud of them, but give them hard love. My kids are 13. They don't have any cell phones. They don't have any iPads. They have an Xbox, but they have to get straight A's and B's before they can use that Xbox.
Speaking of, I'm going to inject real quick. So I went over to your house to eat dinner. Awesome house. Great food. But right when I walk in the door, his boys are getting thrashed. They're running up and down the stairs.
Yeah, they had to run the stairs for an hour.
And I was like, dude, what's going on, man? And they weren't like crying or anything. They were taking it well. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, they lied to me about their homework and they're playing video games or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
so they're on TikTok.
That's right.
They're able to go through their smart ass kids. So they're able to actually go through their Chromebook and get on TikTok through there. They surpassed the security incense, the school security. They passed through it and got through TikTok. But I was pissed that they lied to me and they told me they'd be doing schoolwork the whole time. So they had to run an hour of stairs. My boys
they were like, the stairs were no joke, man. They were like fucking.
That's fucking hilarious.
I've never ran an hour of stairs, but these boys, they busted it out. And like I say, they probably ran them through 2020, 2021. They probably done about, 50 hours of stairs.
You gotta get some sandbags, Tito. Get some sandbags.
Boy, here in Florida, because we don't have TV yet. We're still waiting for our furniture to come. We have only one television in the room, but I gotta find something to kind of help them burn their energy. I take them to the gym. We go and lift weights. But I'm still just trying to get settled here in Florida. Still once again, I'm waiting for all my furniture to come. Excuse me, but once I get settled, I want to get them into jiu-jitsu. I want to get them into wrestling. I want to get them back into that hard work motivation over there. They don't have extra time, have that free time. And this goes on to all your viewers and everything too, man. If you guys feel like you're sitting on the couch watching TV, watching football, drinking beers, and you feel bummed about your life and you feel just bummed about yourself, get the fuck up and go on a walk. Get the fuck up and go on a little jog. Go to the gym and pick up some weights and lift them. Then you get repetition, and all our veterans that have been through that situation where they've been told what time to wake up, been told when they're going to eat, been told when they're going to have to do their training. Take that same simulation in life and bring it to yourself and make yourself do it. That's when you make it responsible for the actions that you do, and that'll help. It helps me. It helps me get in the gym. It helps me train. since New Year, since the first of the year, I haven't drank. I stopped drinking. I was like, you know what, Tito, it's time to stop drinking. Because I mean, I was drinking almost every day. And I started feeling sorry myself, looking in the mirror, and it's like I got a belly and shit. I was like, I mean, I've lost since New Year's, I've lost already 15 pounds. I mean, I've been in the gym lifting. I take my wife, take my kids. And that's what's important when you have that nuclear family, you can help each other. And maybe some of you guys don't have kids. Maybe you don't have a wife. And that's when you reach out to your brothers, man. Reach out to your brothers, just give them a call, saying, hey, are you doing all right? I mean, if they live close, maybe, hey, you guys want to start training and work together as a team? Because that's where you guys come from, is having a team together that are able to work and to make each other stronger. I mean, that's how society is. When you're secluded by yourself, that's when the worst things happen, because your mind starts traveling different areas and different places. You're like, fuck, man, I feel worthless right now. And that worthless brings the whole demeanor of your mind down completely to zero, where you're like, I don't feel like I'm worth shit.
Yeah.
And you are. You're loved. You're appreciated, man. You're the things that you have done for this country. I have nothing but respect, and I'll always reach out. Every time I see anybody in their fatigues in the airport, I'll go up to them and say, thank you for your service, sir. Anybody I see with a hat on, I mean, I could see the guys who are the special force guys. I can see a guy who's served just by their mannerism, just by the way they carry themselves. And I'll go out of my way, and they're like, how the fuck do you know I serve? I go, I know a lot of you guys. I go, I know a lot of brothers. I've been fortunate to meet a lot of great guys. You know, one of my friends, Jeremy, who's sixth group in Destin and Special Force, and he's gone through some trouble sometimes. He just went through some trouble sometimes with his family and with his kid, but the kid got a full bounce back. And I was calling him every day, man. I was going, "You all right, man? You're doing okay? How things going?" And just caring that much about somebody who's a friend of mine is important. But at the same time, someone who's served for our country, people need to reach out to each other more. And maybe if people don't reach out to you guys, you should reach out to somebody instead of doing something stupid. Because I mean, life's not easy. Life is hard. God gives you challenges to test your character, to see what type of person you are. And I've had like many of challenges, many of things that pressed me, where I had a handful of Xanax and I put like 20 in my mouth and I almost swallowed them. And the thing that stopped me from doing that was my child. I saw my child's face and I spit them out, and I go through depression. I go through challenges through my career, because I mean, I've had concussions. I've had over 20 concussions through my career, and I go through those challenges. But once again, I wake up every day and I'm thankful for my feet. When I put them on the ground, I'm fucking still here, man. I've gone through this.
I'll tell you what, Tito, man, you're in a good place now to freaking start your life over and move forward with you and your family. And I think Florida is going to be it's a great spot for being outside and doing the things that you want to do and raising a good family. So you definitely have, I think, especially for your family, have stepped up, man, to a new beginning for your family. So.
Yeah, thank you. I'm fortunate, man. I feel blessed. I feel really blessed. And my grandfather, my mother's side, he was a priest or a pastor for Pacific Palisades in Hawaii. And he used to preach the Bible, preach the gospel. And my mom calls me every once in a while when I do interviews like this, and she like, Tito, you sound exactly like Grandpa. And it touches my heart, because I'm not I don't go to church every week. I say my prayers. When I go through hard times, I ask for forgiveness. I ask to get me through this hard time right now, please, Lord. And but I even say thankful even more when I have the great things. When I win my fights, or when I win little small things, like getting my kids here, I'm like, thank you for this. I appreciate it. But I understand, at the end of the day, it's me that makes the decision. I'm the one that gets to be responsible for my actions. I got to look in the mirror every single day when I brush my teeth and wake up in the morning, when I go to bed at night, and I can say, Tito, have you done something good today? Have you done something to give back? Have you done something to help your fellow neighbor? Have you done something to help a fan? Have you done something to help someone on social media? Have you done something positive? And that's one big thing as the life that I've lived, is negativity will eat you alive. But if you stay positive the whole time and don't let any of that negativity in your life will be a lot better. And I do. Yep. I mean, I get attacked nonstop on social media all the time. The guys, you got your ass kicked by this guy. You beat your ex fucking girl. I was like, oh, that's false. We prove that in court. But I just cut it out. I don't respond to it. And I see a lot of negative things that people are like, oh, I can't believe you're a Trump supporter. You're a Trumper. It's like, no, man, I'm a patriot. I love this country. And what Trump did was he awaked a lot of people what's really going on in the political realm right now. And I was awake. I was like, wow, this shit is happening. Once again, I couldn't take his word for it. I had to do the studies. I had to research it. And all of a sudden, all these documentaries started coming out. And I was like, wow, these little dots are starting to add up. Everything's just starting to make sense. And then I think that's what makes it so challenging for me each and every day, is to go on social media and to see people be on the total left side of how they hate America and how bad America is, and have guarantee you 100% none of those people have ever traveled out of the country.
100%.
100%.
Probably out of their own
I've
fucking
said that
state.
100 times.
Own
That's
city.
the thing, is like when you were talking about when you went to Iraq and you saw how those kids lived. You've traveled now. You've seen how these kids have lived in that country and how difficult it is and how difficult those people lived. So many people in our country who hate our country. They talk shit about it. They talk shit about everything from top to bottom. They don't have a passport. They've never gone anywhere. They've never been to Africa and seen how these people live, and the not just the poverty, but the political oppression, the crime. Central and South America, the same thing. The places in the Middle East, the political oppression that they have there. When you said that earlier, when you were talking about that, and you said, I saw the way these people lived, and it made you appreciate America. It's like more people, and I say it all the time. If you hate America, fine, hate America. Get yourself a passport, make a little tour around the world. You come back a month later, and then you tell me how much you hate America. These people just don't understand.
Yeah, and I'll give you 3 places they can go to. They can go to Mexico City, they can go to Iraq, and they can go to Thailand. Go to just those 3 countries and see how it is. And when you go to Mexico, don't go to Cabo San Lucas. No, that's not.
Don't go to the whitewash place.
Yeah, go to the whitewash. Go inside of the cities like Mexico City. Like, say, go to Thailand, go to Phuket, go to Bangkok, and see how these kids are living. Because I brought my kids there. I took my kids to Thailand, and they were like, "Dad, those kids don't have shoes and they don't have any shirts for my son. They can't afford it." And for them to really calculate and understand what the situation was, it took them a couple of days to use, because we were there for a month. And it was like,
"Oh, damn,
Dad, we appreciate what we have." I'm like, "Yes, you understand now. You get it." Going to Iraq, and these people are living in little hut villages that there's 500 people living in like a half an acre land. And it's like
open sewers.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Crazy, just back age stuff that people don't get.
And everyone's complaining with a fucking cell phone in their hands, brand new Nikes on, probably driving a fucking Tesla, Costco, fucking Sam's Club, Walmart, fucking Target. They can go to the grocery store,
fast food,
anytime they want.
Running water, a fucking electricity.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the type of things that those people don't have.
And like 98% of America has that.
Yes.
And the ones that are homeless are kind of by their own choice from fucking drug use and mental health. They go together.
Yes, 100%.
But like, this is the one place, this country's founded on fucking immigrants, and they fucking work hard.
Yes.
Like, this whole country, for the most part, outside of the Native Americans, came from somewhere else.
Right.
And especially like in the last fucking 10, 15 years, like my girlfriend, her parents came from Cambodia, and they fucking had 3 different fucking jobs at once. Like, if you're hungry and you want to fucking make money, you can.
You can. That's that opportunity that's been given here.
For now.
And
I hope we keep it that fucking way.
I hope we keep it that way. And I mean, this next couple of years, I think things are going to change. The presidency is going to change 100%. I believe in that. Once again, you can't hide from the truth. The truth is going to come. They can suppress it as much as they possibly can, but God's great, and He's going to make things happen the right way. And like I say, once again, I go back to we want to control what we can control, and let the senators, the congressmen, them control that part of it and do it the right way, as long as we vote and do the right thing and put the right people in there with the right mentality and conservative ideas that we do. I mean, like I say, man, faith, freedom, and family. Those are my 3 that I keep to heart. That is just super important to me, and that's what I treat other people with respect and values.
I think there's a 4th one in there. Food. You gotta get food in there.
Food. I see, that's one thing I can ration out. I can only
so Tito, who's the cook in your house? Who's the cook?
Me mostly. Yeah.
Yeah? That's right. You cooked us that badass steak.
Yeah. My wife can cook too, but I like to cook because I'm hands deck, man. I'm hands on deck. I can cook everything but French food. I mean, I make my own sushi. I do everything. My
really? Wow.
When I was 11 years old, when I used to stay at my grandparents' house, my grandma used to cook all the time, and I remember I was helping her, and she was making flour tortillas, homemade ones.
She's your mom's mom?
No, my father's mom.
And I'm sorry for us, me too.
Yeah.
Who's is father white?
So my father's Mexican and my
Okay.
mother's white. So
Got it.
I'm a mutt. So I have Mexican American in me. I have Native American in me. That's from my father's side. Then from my mother's side, I have French, Portuguese, Irish, and Cameroon.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm a
wow.
mutt. I'm literally a mutt. So that's why you guys see I'm actually Mexican. That's super white. Like I think I'm whiter than him. That's the Irish in me, and French. Portuguese side is on my side, but on my father's side is Mexican, Native American. And my grandma, I remember, used to making corn tortillas. I used to help her because I wanted to watch. And she'd tell me, she goes, "Now, Tito, you got to understand, you need to learn how to cook because you never know when you're going to be alone." I took that to heart. Like, I will never forget that. I was 11 years old. I'll never forget that. And I still remember. And I remember when my freshman year in high school, I took culinary arts.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And so I did that for 4 years. And I was in college. I took 2 years of that in college. And from that point out on, I would watch the cooking channel. And
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. It was just something that I loved. It's my peace of mind. I mean, I'm a big fisherman. So, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man a fish, he could eat for the rest of his life. And that's
feed his
me.
family.
Yep, and feed his family. I can do that. I can cook fish. I can do sushi. I can do almost everything, like I say, than French food. But I'm trying to build for my family and teach my kids. My kids cook. My oldest son Jacob was at Arizona State University. He's on a wrestling scholarship there.
Nice.
He knows how to cook, and he's had a couple of girlfriends, and like he cooks for them. They're like, Dad, they lose their minds. They're like, how do you know how to cook so well? Like, my dad told me you better learn how to cook. But my two boys. One's a baker and one's a cook. And it's funny because they can cook up anything. They made Amber for her birthday 2 years ago, German chocolate cake.
Oh, no way.
They didn't have any coconut. They didn't have any sugar. There was another ingredient they didn't have, but they ended up figuring out how to do it. So what they did with the coconut was they got oatmeal and they got cocoa butter or coconut oil and they put it in with the oatmeal. So now it made the oatmeal taste like coconut.
Huh.
So it actually literally tastes like coconut. They made a German chocolate cake.
That's my favorite cake, too.
And they didn't have sugar, so they shifted all the sugar out of the oatmeal packs that
Like fall. Yeah, you're right.
Yep, and they got that.
Like the instant stuff.
Yep, and the instant.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
They made the cake.
Did they do this all on their own?
They did it all on their own. They did it in the morning. I was asleep. They did it all on their own. They came up, they're like, "Amber, we made a cake for you." And I was like, "Holy shit, that thing looks pretty good." I took a bite of it. And it was so moist and it tastes really good. I was like, "How'd you learn how to cook that?" He's like, "Well, we looked up on YouTube and it was like, they told us that we didn't have this, we could use this." And we're like, we thought that since we didn't have coconut, we could use the oatmeal and cook the oatmeal just enough where it's kind of hard to put the coconut oil in it and make it taste like coconut. Yeah. So it actually tastes like coconut pieces, but it was amazing.
That's pretty smart. Damn.
Yeah, I'm building soldiers. I'm building men. My kids are.
How old are your?
How
old are your boys?
I have twin 13-year-olds and I have a 20-year-old. The twins are with me full time. My oldest is at Arizona State. He's on campus there. So
this is what I was just thinking about, Jason. You know what we need to bring him and his boys to do? A little airsoft.
Oh, they would love that shit. So I take a paint pellet. We do paint pellet shooting.
Nice.
Yeah, my oldest lit me up one day and shot me in the side of the neck. Fucked me up.
Dude, would you want to come? Bring
yeah,
the boys?
That'd be cool. Hell yeah, they'd love that.
We're getting pretty connected in the airsoft realm, man.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So what's the place that we've already? There's a place not too far from you guys. It used to be an old prison, and they have events pretty commonly.
Through Dead End Outfitters out of Cape Coral. He's a prior military guy. He was a tank guy. Little dude. He goes by Papa. I forgot his real name. Real small little place, but the event was at this old fucking prison, man.
Oh, wow.
And it's badass.
That's cool.
And it was like, how many of us were out there, dude? Like 200 people, bro.
Wow.
And it's like,
war zone times 10.
That's what I'm saying. Like so hear me out on this, military guys and gals. Like, I looked at airsoft, like, those guys are retarded. Like, screw them. Those guys are dumb, But like, if you drop your ego and like just go be a kid and pick up a BB gun and go shoot other people with a plastic BB and try not to get hit, it's a lot of fucking fun, man. Like, actually have fun. Don't like fuck your ego, man. Like, just go have fun and get blasted. And everyone's having a blast, man.
I did that. We did that with paintball shooting. And we got on teams, and two of my buddies who were former Marines, we're like doing recon before even the kids are like,
Yeah.
and we're like laying exactly. He's like, we got to do this, and I understood because I mean I played Modern Warfare, and I'm not saying I'm some type of big shit.
Yeah, but you got the concept.
I got the concept right off the bat. And he was like, here, we're gonna be here on the side, we're gonna flank him on this side, and I was like, okay, I get it, but you still get that same adrenaline rush. Like, fuck. And then one of my kids was standing in the corner. He was small enough where I didn't even see him. I walked right past him. He shot me in the back of the neck. I was like, you motherfucker. But you still get that same adrenaline rush. So it is fun.
It's a lot of fun.
That's how this is. It's very team oriented. So they split everybody up into two sides, and you're marked so you know what side you're on, and this and that. And it's a good time. And I like the place at that prison because it's big, but it's not too big. And there's lots of houses that you can go to, and there's room clearing, and everybody's got a great attitude. It's a lot of fun. And we'll definitely need to get together. And
it was run pretty well too. He gave a really good safety brief. He got everyone together, and they actually broke it down into groups because there were so many people. And they gave the left and right lateral limits, like what you can do, what you can't do. And it was pretty organized. And we did another one up in Barnwell, South Carolina at this big, I don't even know what the place was, but it looks like something off Call of Duty, man. It looked like kind of like an industrial park with like big silos. And you can go through, dude, it was like hide and seek for fucking grown men.
I'm in, man. That'd be fun.
Dude, it's so fucking badass. Cool. Oh, we got in a helicopter too, man. So we were like blasting people from a helicopter, like real helicopter, like a little bird. Uh-huh. We got it on video. I have to show you. But like I had my GoPro going. It was like me and one other guy on one side. I think there was two on the other. And we're shooting from up top, and like my seatbelt breaks. And I'm like fucking 100, 200 feet above.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, so I grab on, and like I got my GoPro on, and I'm like, you see me doing this, and I'm like trying to get the pilot's attention. And then the guy's looking at me. I'm like, fuck it. So I just like grab a hold and like lean out. And I'm just like,
that's rad.
It was so badass because like the center of gravity was like throwing me back into the bird. So it wasn't like I was I probably could have fallen, but it was fun, man. So
it's a man's strength, you're right.
Yeah, we'll have to get into it, man.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, your sons are the perfect age for that. That would be a good time. I think get everybody out there. That'd be a blast. And they run events out there pretty frequently, so that'd be a good time.
Yeah, my boys would love it. Like I say, my son Journey, he plays was it Warzone and Modern Warfare, and he's ridiculous. Like he's exceptionally. I mean, he's just not good. He's exceptionally good.
Really,
like. None of my friends have any chance against him. Like, and I see him online, and I hear kids online like, "Who in the fuck is that? What?
He's cheating. He's got to be cheating.
He's got to be cheating."
Yeah.
I was like, and he like plays with my group of friends, and they're like, "That's your son?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "He has to have doing some special codes or some shit." I go, "No, dude, he's playing. He's just like sniping people, like just quick scoping people." I'm like, and his just the reaction time at that age, I think their minds are so growing so fast that the concepts are just the reaction time is so much faster than us older folk.
So our channels, we have a lot of video game theme to it. We're gamers, you're a gamer. We're getting Patrick over here, old man Patrick, into games. He's starting to get into Call of Duty. I've been playing the new one a lot. I know you're waiting on your internet.
No, we got internet. I'm waiting on all of our furniture and all of our shit to come.
With the stuff, the Xbox, the entertainment center, all that stuff. Yeah. So, for myself and our viewers too, on the game side of you, like when did you start first playing video games?
I first started playing video games. I believe it was Atari. Playing
2600
playing Combat on Atari, and I played out through my whole time. Played Zelda, Mario Brothers, the first Mario Brothers. Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3, Zelda. Then I got into, it was Splinter Cell
on PlayStation.
Sega, I think it was on Sega.
I think it was on Sega.
It was on Sega on PlayStation. And the UFC game came out. I played on that, and then I stopped completely for 6-7 years.
Did you play yourself?
Yeah, well, yeah,
because you were on there, right?
Yeah, I was on there. Yeah,
how was that playing yourself on a video game?
It was surreal, man. It was the coolest thing in the world.
That's how you know you made it. When you're playing yourself in a video game, you're like, all right, I don't think it gets any better than this.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's hilarious.
The game was made from Crave Entertainment. That was the maker of the game, and I did all the promotion for him for free. I didn't question. I was like, I'll go out and help you promote this. And I go, but what I want in return is you make my guy invincible. And they did. Then my guy's so damn good. I was like,
oh, really?
That everybody. So it was funny because I was just in Arizona. I was with Quentin Rampage Jackson and went out to one of the clubs, and all the guys, like his brother friends, were like coming up to me, like, "Yo, man, I play you in the video game and you got a kick ass, you got a badass head kick. And it was like, it was fun because there's so many people that relate to the video game. They see me from that. And they even seen me fight before, but they know my character.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of kids, the same thing situation. Like, you're Tito Ortiz, right? And it's like, they're like 13 years old. It's like, guys don't even know my career. But like, no, we play you in the video game. We know how good you are. It's like, and it's cool to see that. So, I mean, the hard work reciprocated into the video game. So it was a real good return, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So what do you think about the new Call of Duty? I mean, I know you're a big Call of Duty guy.
I haven't played it yet. Like I say,
So the newest one.
Yeah, so the newest one. So I got married 11/11 of 2022. We sold our house a week later. We moved 6 days later after that. So it was literally back to back to back to back. And actually, 2 months before that, when the hurricane came here to Cape Coral, my friend Captain James Marco, who's third generation from here, he gave me a call on a Sunday right after the hurricane. He said, Tito, and I could hear the urgency in his voice. And he was like, Tito, you think you can come out and help me out here, dude, please? I was like, bro, what's up? He's all, things are fucking bad, man. Things are really, really bad. And of course, in our mainstream media, they're not showing any of the shit. Like, oh yeah, there's a hurricane here, and it's it's a Category 4, and everything's fine.
Local news, it was, but not big news.
Yeah, the local news, they did. They had it on local news, but outside the state, they didn't at all. And I was like, yeah, of course I will, man. You're my bro. I got you. So I raised like $25,000. We came down. We were doing fuel runs. We bought generators, and we're getting out to Matlacha, Pine Island, Northern Captiva, and kind of giving them the infrastructure again with generators because there was no electricity, no running water.
Those first 2 weeks,
No, it was actually 18 days. Nothing on those.
Yeah, it was 11. We were out 11 in this house.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This mainland too, on mainland, but the islands, they were destroyed.
Pine Island, the bridge.
Yep. So I was here for a week doing that and making the fuel runs. We're doing like 300 gallons at a time.
You flew into Miami, right?
I flew into Miami.
Yeah, because RSW was still shut down.
It was still shut down, correct. And we made the run from Miami with fuel. And we had 5-gallon jugs, and we had the whole back of his truck filled up. And the law is you're only allowed to have 100 gallons in your truck to travel with.
Was it like a civilian, like without your license?
Without your license.
Special container, yeah.
And the cops will pull us over, and they were like, what is all this fuel for? It's like, we're going to Cape Coral to go refill them to all their generators. They're like, okay, go ahead. And he gave us the go ahead. It was awesome as cop. I wish I would have known his name because I gave him a shout out.
Did he recognize you?
He did recognize me, and he was like, wow, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm here to help, man. And myself, I believe Ivanka Trump was another one that came out.
I didn't know that.
And that was the second week that we came. So the first week I was here and we did that. And it was over to, was it Fort Myers Beach. Yeah. And they just got the bridge to finally cross over. And I was one of the first civilians to go over. Was it
on Sanibel?
Yeah. No, on
Cativa.
No, on what was it, on Fort Myers Beach, to Fort Myers Beach, that bridge that goes over.
Oh, yeah.
So that was completely thrashed, and they finally built it out. And I got there, and I kind of got, kind of a couple-inch card where they let me do what I wanted. And
nice.
I was like, hey, man, I want to try to raise some morale to the guys. I know you guys have been working all week, and I got to go over there and just see the destruction on Fort Myers Beach was just heartbreaking.
I still haven't been over there.
Dude, it seemed like going to Iraq where everything was just destroyed. Like it was just flattened. Everything was flattened. Concrete buildings flattened.
Sand everywhere.
Sand was like 1.5 feet, 2 feet of sand. I
saw a video with the front loader like scraping sand off the fucking roads.
And it was
couldn't even see the road.
So like I said, I was here for the first week, and then I was supposed to do a thing with First Form in St. Louis. I was supposed to travel with my family. They bring me out for an event out there, and I was already here. So I said, you know what? Can we change my flight from here, from Miami, going to St. Louis? Like, yeah. What's going on? I'm all, well, I'm here for the hurricane to kind of help out and everything. You're like, yeah, of course we will. So I was actually able to get away for a couple of days, and I went there and. It was a breath of fresh air because when I was here and my friend Captain James Marco were taking his boat to the islands and you could smell the dead bodies.
Yep.
You can sense it was the worst smell in the world. And I mean, anybody who fishes in the ocean and you smell a dead seal or a dead whale, that's the smell. It was disgusting, the most disgusting smell in the world. And I had that. I mean, it was like, I was kind of tainted from that. And when I went to St. Louis, I kind of got a little fresher breath there. I was like, all right. Then I flew back with my family back to Huntington Beach. Then I was on the Adam Carolla show. And I was talking about this, and I was like, yeah, I just came back from Cape Coral and Fort Myers, and the destruction there is just, it's unrecognizable. I can't explain. I go, dead bodies and this and that. He's like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, mainstream media is not showing anything about that. I go, there's no FEMA there. there's no government help. I go, DeSantis is the one doing all the job. The firemen, the police, they're the ones helping. The community's coming together, and they're the
state level,
just the state, just here in Florida. They show the strength of the state here, and that's why I am here. But just to see that, and I was saying this on the Adam Carolla show, and I came back fly the next day. I talked to my buddies. He donated another I think it was like $45,000 to me. Damn. And we got was it cutting tools, like hacksaws, like all electric tools to take it to Northern Captiva so they could chop everything up. They needed it.
Even just saws, man. It took me fucking 2 weeks to get a saw.
I was here for 2 days, then all of a sudden FEMA came in. So either somebody was listening to me on Adam Carolla's show and said, we better fucking make a move right now because it's going to look bad on the government, or they went out of their own wits, and I'm hoping out of their own wits they did it on their own. I'm hoping, I pray to God that's how it was, but all of a sudden FEMA came in and they just started taking everything out. They started doing everything. But I got to give huge kudos to, Lee County Sheriff, Lee County Fire Department, all the police, everybody at Cape Coral,
Punta Gorda,
God, Fort Myers, everybody. Thank you so much. Just the community. Thank you so much because you gave me hope for this country. You made me believe that, this country is still worth willing fighting for. And I'm going to continue to do it. I was always going to continue to do it now, but now I'm able to give my kids a safe environment, an environment that they will understand how to love this country. And I'm very thankful. And that one really hurt me. That was kind of similar of going to Iraq, Bethesda and Walter Reed. I had that same type of feeling. I really did. I really had to take back. because we stayed in a house it was a really nice home, but once again, it was run on generators, so we had a little bit of AC, not much. We're eating on what do you guys eat when you guys go to war?
MREs.
We're eating MREs, and I was like, "Fuck this! Let's go to Publix and go. I'll cook for you guys." So I ended up cooking meals for our people, and they're like, "You got to cook really well." I go, we're not eating that bullshit. That stuff's horrible. But it was just great. Like I say, man, it gave me hope for this country just to see the community come together. And a lot of people across the United States didn't see what really happened here in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and in Florida in general. But just to see the community come together, like I say, I was very, very thankful because it opened my eyes and it gave me hope. And I'm thankful because now I'm here. And now I'm a Floridian. I got my ID.
Wasn't that a good feeling?
It was a feeling of relief.
It was, right?
A breath of fresh air.
Yeah, same. Weren't you blown away getting a fucking California ID? You know how long that takes. They ship it to you 3 weeks later. Your fucking driver, your tag takes like a month or whatever the fuck. Dude, they give you your driver's license and your tag
in hours, not even hours, like
under
minutes.
An hour. Yeah. As soon as you're done, they're like, here you go. And I stood there. I was like, really? Like,
hey, Jason, you just registered that new truck. What was the registration? How long were you able to register your truck for?
How long did I register it for?
Yeah, is it a year or longer than a year?
Year by year.
It was year by year, yeah. But mine was actually more like a year and a half.
So here's a stipulation on that actually is amazing that I'm excited too. So I own a Rolls-Royce Phantom, which has been my car dream as a kid growing up since I graduated high school. Snoop Dogg said, "Pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot." And rolls in a Rolls-Royce Phantom. I was like, I'm going to get that car. So I worked my ass off. 2006, I would buy that car. Well, I was in California and I paid $3,700 a year for registration for that car.
It's insane, isn't it?
Here,
what is
for the registration is $500. And then it's $50 a year after that on each car. I'm just like losing my mind going, what the hell? Well, I don't understand.
And that's the way it should be.
Yes. And then when they talk about taxation of theftation, 1,000%.
Well, it's hilarious. So my wife and I have the Tesla Model Y. It's not some freaking crazy super bougie car, but they're expensive. I mean, it's a $60,000 car. Her registration for 1 year is like $750. And the fucking crazy thing on that is, how like regular cars in California, you got to go take them to get smogged and all that bullshit costs you $50. We're like, okay, we got an electric car. We don't have to do that. There's a $50 electric car fee that they tack onto that thing. And I'm like,
and then they got a fee, and then they got a fee upon that.
They will get
like,
oh yeah, you don't have to smog it, but we're gonna get our $50 out of you. Fucking, it's ridiculous.
It's criminal.
It's ridiculous.
Man. It is crazy.
So what was for me? Like, what was the first things you noticed about Florida? Like shock factor, like that just difference from California? I mean, because I know what it was for me. I noticed quickly the sir and the ma'am, and people holding the door open for you. And I don't expect a sir or a ma'am, but like it's kind of nice.
That's always been an automatic.
But you do look really old, so.
Yeah, no, I have always done that, and people always ask me if I've served military or so forth, and no, I go, I'm just very respectful. I respect your space, and I hope vice versa to me. But I think the biggest wow factor for me was one of my friends, now a friend since I've lived here, Johnny. He does tactic. He does all the ammo for Lee County police and Homeland Security and so forth. But he reached out to me on Instagram, and down at Torch in Cape Coral, they have one of those punching machines, those things that you punch.
I think I saw this on Instagram or something.
A punch bag of how hard you can hit it. And I've never hit it before. I was like, you know what? I was having.
You've never punched one of those?
I never punched it before. So I was like, you know what? I have had a couple cocktails. I was like, come on, babe, let's go up. I want to punch this thing. And I went up and I punched it, and I hit like a 928 or something. Well, my friend Johnny, and I didn't know him at all, and he posted it, and he hit I think it was a 936, and he was all challenged. And I was like, challenge accepted. Now I got someone to challenge with me. So we conversated back and forth. And then I was like, hey, let's go to lunch. So we went to lunch, got there on lunch. He's an amazing guy, amazing individual, very free thinker, conservative, like my type of people, everyone else that is around here. And I went home, and he called me and goes, Tito, I got a housewarming gift for you. I was like, really? I go, you don't have to do that, dude. He goes, no. This is what we do here in Florida. Maybe just to you, but this is what we do. To my brothers, this is what we do. Came and knocked on my door. He came in, he brought his son, met his son, amazing individual also. And he gave me a bag. And I was like, oh, fuck, cool bag. Probably got a candle or something kind of cool, make my house smell better.
Yeah.
I opened it up, and it was a gun case. I opened it up, and it was a Glock. I was like, are you fucking serious right now? Yeah. You're giving me a Glock for a fucking housewarming gift? I go, this is my state.
You're like, are you telling me something about this neighborhood, dude?
Yeah, no, he says everybody carries that. You have no worries at all. And I've noticed that. I mean, on my street that I live in Cape Coral, I mean, there's like 4 officers that live on my street. There's like 3 firemen that live on my street, And
Johnny, you said he lives on your street?
No, Johnny, actually, I think he lives on further away. I think he's still
in the same area, though.
Still in the same area and so forth. But I mean,
that's cool.
When that happened, I was like, all right. I go, babe, go online, give me a flagpole. She's like, what? Give me a flagpole. And we're written, so you're not allowed to put a flagpole into the ground yet. So I was like, fuck it. You're going to tell me, what I don't know, I don't know. If they say I can't do it, I'll pull it out. So I was like, I dug my hole, put my flagpole in, put my American flag up. And I put my flag with the blue line, the red line in, and to show my support from our neighborhood. And I mean, guys always drive by. They're like, always, hey, Tito. And then even people in there, just yesterday, 2 guys drove up like, are you Tito Ortiz? Well, yes, sir. They're like, my friend said that you lived here. I didn't fucking believe him. What are you doing here? I tell my whole spiel about what happened on the hurricane and everything. I would give my family a different, view in life, and just see my neighbors come the way they are. It's true. It's very respectful. One there's the guy who lives across from me, a Cuban guy. He goes, he lived here for over 60 years, and he goes, you'll love this neighborhood. And he didn't know who I was, didn't know anything about my career. I introduced him to Tito Ortiz. He goes, oh, nice to meet you. Jose, pleasure to meet you. But just very genuine people. Everybody is very, very genuine, very nice, very just acceptive, And when I lived in Huntington Beach, and I lived in the island of Davenport Island, it used to be like that when I first moved there in 2009. It used to be like that. And over the last 5 years, it's changed completely. Where people walk like in front of my house, like, hi, how are you? Like, hi, how are you? And they knew me or didn't know me. It didn't matter. I didn't care. But just that, hi, how are you? How you doing? How's your day? I don't want anything more than that. I don't want to go tell me about your life. I don't care about that. Just be good neighbors. Got to a point where here, just before I left, that people walk by, I'm like, hi, how are you? They put their head down and they keep walking. They don't say a word. I hope you have a great day. And I go out of my way just to be respectful. And to a point, to the last night that we were there, we're packing all of our stuff and putting in the moving truck and everything. And we lost the garage door opener, and we thought we threw it away. So there's like 4 of us looking through the trash to find it. Well, an older man and a woman walked by. They're like, what's going on here? And like flash the flashlights. I was like, oh, we lost our garage door opener, and we're trying to find it. And he's like, oh, then my son runs in front of his wife and like hits her flashlight out of her hand by accident. And her husband goes, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, and like walks back in the house. She's like, oh my God, and like flips out and loses shit. And he's all, that's assault. I was like, dude, that's a 13-year-old kid. He's 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing. I go, he did it by accident. He said, he apologized. He goes, no, he didn't. And then he looked at me and he goes, you're Tito Ortiz. He goes, you're moving to Florida. And I go, yeah, I'm getting out of here. He goes, good. We don't want you here anyways. Assholes like that, I was like,
Jesus
you know what?
Christ.
Have fun wearing your mask forever, dude.
I was like, literally, have fun wearing your mask forever. I go, fucking, you're going to die here. You're going to be a miserable piece of shit the rest of your life. You know what? Peace out. I'm out. And we literally packed 13 bags. We had me, my wife, my 2 boys. We had 5 cats in the cat carriers.
Oh, no way.
We had 13 bags. We went to LAX. We checked in. We flew into Fort Lauderdale.
I was going to wonder if you drove or flew. Okay.
Yeah, we flew into Fort Lauderdale. My friend, Captain James Marco, picked us up, brought us to his uncle's house, and let us stay there for a week until we kind of got stuff settled. And it was just one of those situations that was just surreal. It feels like we're on a vacation that is never going to end. Yeah, it's like kind of weird right now, right? Like last night I was cooking dinner and I was just telling my wife, I was like, babe, does it feel like we're like in a dream right now? Because it just doesn't seem real yet. Like it hasn't really like solidified and like just been settled down enough to be like, this is home. But I mean, last night when I drove back from working with the Homeland Security here in Fort Myers, I was like happy to drive home. I was happy I'm going home right now. This right. I like made me smile, made me feel good. Like I don't have to worry about no bullshit. I don't worry about people being assholes. I don't worry about someone robbing my home. I mean, my house got robbed for $750,000 before I left. I ain't got to worry about someone breaking into my fucking car. I don't got to worry about carrying a gun. I mean, I have no conceal and carry, but I came to a point where I had to carry a gun everywhere I went. And my friends who are officers and sheriffs like, Tito, no, carry. You need to carry, dude, because there's shit going on that's not being shown on media at all. And it's just situations like that where I got to worry about the safety of my children. I shouldn't have to worry about that. Yeah. That's the officer's job. People say, oh, defund the police. Like, fuck you people. Yeah. Who are you going to call when the police need to show up? Yeah. Let's fund the police. Let's teach them the right way and get rid of the bad ones. Pay them more. Like bump up the mental test, the physical test to get into it. Make it like a special operations. The mental test. Make it a special operation. I mean, that or let's hire veterans. Let's hire veterans who know how to do things, who are stable mentally, who understand how to put a team together to make it happen right. Because I know that's how a lot of the Homeland Security guys are former Marines, former Army. Yeah. A lot of the Border Patrol, a lot of former Marines, former Army, they get the job by doing that because they can have the cognitive skills to understand, to put a team together, do the right things to protect the surroundings that they are. And in California, they're literally, their hands are handcuffed. They're literally, they can't do anything. Yeah. And California could, I know you love California. I did too. Like it could be one of the best states. It could be 100%. Fishing wise, we're both fishermen. It's like one of the best states outside of Florida. Yeah. Definitely the best too. All kinds of crazy fish. Wildlife from bear to wolves to dude, it's I literally go to the beach and fish, to the mountains to snow in like a 3-hour period. And then go hit the dunes. Yeah, and then hit the dunes. Yeah, and then it's so diverse. It's such a large, beautiful state. It's just it's getting fucked from the top down. Yeah. In Florida, like it's the same. Like you brought back my memory when I first moved here, which was only a year ago. But I remember the first few months. Just even still to this day, I'll go outside and that smell of like rainforest, like jungle, fresh air, it's fresh, wet in a good way, like alive, and like being in Southern California, like you forget how much of a desert it really is. Yeah. I mean, all the smog there, it's gnarly. We could see just the horizon is just yellow. It's orange sometimes. Especially, you probably know. I mean, you see the orange cloud every once in a while when it gets hot, right? Yeah.
Literally this morning, my wife and I are laying in bed, and we got like windows near the. She's like, is the sun? Because I was sitting up. We just had a baby. I've got a little girl that's a month and a half old. Congrats. And she's like, is the sunset coming up, or is the sun coming up? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, your face is super red from the sun. And I'm like, yeah, because it's
all pollution. It's disgusting.
Yep. Yeah. It gives you a beautiful sunset and a sunrise, but yeah, it's not great to breathe. So fucking.
So do you see yourself, staying here potentially forever?
I'm here forever. That's it. I'm here forever. Yeah, I love this. I love the community. I love the people. This is my ground. I'm a Floridian now for the rest of my life. And my kids, I tell them, so they have a thing here for kids that are in school. If they get straight A's, they get college for free. And I tell my kids about this, and they're like, I didn't know that. What, Dad? Yeah.
That's awesome.
You guys get straight A's, from high school all the way through, you get straight A's, you're an honor roll, you get to college for free. Like, really, I don't know the law or the thing they passed for that. I'm not sure exactly the name, but yesterday, the Homeland Security, one of the guys were telling me about it too. I'm like, yeah, I heard about that. I told my kids about that, and they were so excited. So I give my kids a little motivation, a little bump in the ass to work a little harder, because she get a free education here in Florida, go to Florida State University or Florida State or Florida, and they will do well. I mean,
wow, that's pretty unique.
Yes, for sure.
That's awesome.
How was their adjustment?
They love it. Like I say, they've already met like 3 new friends that live in the neighborhood. They hang out with every day. They actually, next to my house, there's a whole open lot. There's like a tree that's crashed over. It's a huge tree.
It's gonna be boys.
They started building a forest. Or
yeah,
a forest.
they should.
A forest.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I was such a fort guy as a kid.
Yeah, me too. I bought him a shovel. I bought him a pick, and I bought him one of the dirt pounders to flatten the dirt. So they're digging right now. They probably got about a good 1,500 pounds of dirt to move. So they've been doing it. They're trying to make because they're right at the back of the creek. So they're able to fish right behind it too. There's like catfish, tarpon right behind our house. And bass too.
Yep. Yeah, those canals are badass.
We'll fish those. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. So fishing,
cool.
Let's hit this before the end. Like, have you fished since you've been here?
I fished 3 times since I've been here. The first time I went out, my friend Captain James Marco, he does tarpon fishing here. He does charters. Captain James Marco, people check him out. It's called Goliath fishing. And he took me out fishing. And my biggest thing is I want a Goliath grouper. I've always wanted to catch a Goliath grouper. That's been my bucket list through my whole life for fishing. I've been fishing since I've been, 6 years old. And we got fishing. He's like, all right, I'm putting in a spot. And he had his own rods and everything. And I was like, yeah, the rod's a little flimsy. And he's like, no, you can get him out. All right. So we would fish this wreck. And he drops down a jack. I don't know, about a
big jack,
4-pound jack. Yeah. And I look, I was like, holy shit. And he put slices on it. He goes, yeah, this is going to work great. So we dropped it down. I caught the bait. We dropped it down. All of a sudden, you see the rod go. And I was like, it's on, whine. So I started whining, and fuck, it was on. And the rod was in the rod holder. And then they got the bent butt thing. I was like, all right, well, I'm used to using the rail. And
I know.
And fucking, I was whining on him. And all of a sudden, I started taking a little bit of line. And all of a sudden, poof, broke off. I was like, motherfucker. Pulled it up, and they're breaking through 100-pound mono, 500-pound mono, and I have about 400-pound Spectra on top.
Jesus.
And then the leader's probably about, 4 or 5 feet. And I broke 1 off, then I broke 2 off, then I broke 3 off, then I broke 4 off, then I broke 5 off, then I broke 6 off. I'm like, fuck, man, this is the last one I got. So I was trying to put the heat to them. The next one, these are all like 400 or 500-pound fish. Fucking last one broke me off again. And I'm fishing 80 feet of water at one of the wrecks. I think it's called Bus Wreck, I believe.
Yeah.
And it kept breaking me off. He's like, fuck it, Tito. What we're going to do, we're going to hand line. I go, hand line? But that's not fishing. He's like, yeah, but we'll get one up. And so he did it. He put on the hand line, and all of a sudden he's like, ooh, I'm bit. And he pulled, and he's like, here. So I fucking pulled him
Gloves, obviously.
No gloves. He says, first, not supposed to no gloves. So I did no gloves.
But what, same line?
It's on rope.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
It's probably about, I think it's a 3/4 inch.
Yep.
But fucking, I pulled him up. I got him up, but I just wasn't satisfied. It seemed like cheating. It seemed like cheating to me. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is cheating. So when I moved, I had my boat shipped over here to my friends, Joe, who I fish with all the time.
Contender?
No, it's a fountain, 38-foot fountain.
That's right.
With twin 300s. Twin 300s on it. But I put all my rods in there, and he brought it from California. He got it here in 4 days. So I have all my rods. I was like, you know what? This next time, so we're fishing again. I go, I'm bringing my rod. He goes, all right, well, I'm bringing my fucking bluefin rod. I put 400-pound Spectra on it, and I made a steel leader with a big circle hook, size 12-aught circle hook.
Yeah.
And we went to the area that we fished and fucking put the bait on the ground. I was like, all right, let me do this time. He goes, oh, okay, now you know how to fish for Goliath. I go,
California fisherman.
Yeah. I know how to fish, dude. And I fucking let it bounce the bottom. I kind of bounce a second. All of a sudden, you go, I was like, ooh, clicked it over.
Yep.
And just started whining. And
2-speed?
I kept on high gear because I want to keep fast up to it. But fucking, I wound, and on the boat, it's a boat like yours where the hull is super small.
Yeah.
So you can't put the rail on the rod. So what I did was I put my foot up, and I put my fucking rod on the knee, and I kneed it. And people can go on my Instagram, Tito Ortiz IG, and see me bring up this fish. So this is my bucket list. I finally got him. I pulled him up in about 8 minutes. And my friends are going like, holy shit. It was like a 400-pounder. But I put the fucking wood to him fast, man, really fast. But I'm talking, if you guys never fished before, fishing is the most exhilarating experience that you could ever, even if you don't catch anything, being on the water is just something about being in the outdoors, of being out there. It's so peaceful. I love it because everywhere I go, I got to be Tito Ortiz. I got Tito Ortiz. Can I have an autograph? Tito Ortiz, what happened in this fight? I mean, I got to, every once in a while, it doesn't happen, but probably about 30 times a day it happens for me. But I'm okay with it. It's cool. It could be worse. I've been fighting for 25 years. No one knows who the fuck I was, because there's other fighters that are like that. But I get peace being on the water.
Yeah.
That's my peaceful time. And it's always been my peaceful time. Whenever I just have so much fucking like just anger or just something's bothering me, whatever, I'm like, babe, I'm going to go fishing. And she gets it. She goes, okay, no problem at all. Go fish, have fun. I go out for the day. I come back and I'm happy, reinvigorized, man. I'm happy. I'm like, that was so
tired in a good way.
Tired in a great way. I get good sleep that night, and I'm able to burn. I would kill the fish. I mean, here, I can kill a fish. It's so easy. It's like fishing in a bucket.
And you can catch your own bait here.
And you catch.
We couldn't do that in California.
Yeah, no.
I almost got arrested throwing it in San Diego.
Yeah, you can't do that. But you can do that.
I got warrant. Yeah, it's great.
So that, and we use the sabiki rigs to get the bigger baits and stuff. But I mean, I love it. It's fun. It's the experience. I mean, there's all kinds of fish you can eat. I mean, I love eating fish. So, I mean, I got to stock my freezer. The weather's kind of been shitty. So I'm kind of waiting for this weather to come back down. And me and Captain James Mark want to go out and go fish again. I want to fill my freezer. I bought a new freezer in my garage. So I want to fill that. My kids love fish. My wife loves fish, and the grouper are amazing. White meat. So I'm just excited just to be here to fish. But like I say, for all your viewers and stuff, you guys never fished before, try to get on the water. It was trout fishing, cat fishing. It could be boring, but once again, it get a little peace of mind, just seeing the water, just being on the ocean is probably the best thing besides a lake or a stream. That's kind of a little slower. But being on the ocean and being around, going catching grouper, catching tuna, catching dorado, yellowfin. I mean, this stuff is fun. It's exciting. We've experienced, thanks to you and Joey with Real Warriors. I'm a huge supporter. I do everything I possibly can to help out with the guys. But just to go and do that for the day and a half trips that we did, it was great for me. It was my peace, my tranquility for sure.
Yeah, there's more to be had for sure.
Yes, for sure.
I have to ask this question for everyone. You told me once, out of respect for you, because what you just said, every time we've hung out, I've never tried to pry your mind too much about the UFC. It's not that I don't care. I'm not interested. I just, I know you get bombarded from that shit. So I just wanted to know you as an individual, right? Especially fishing. I'd rather talk about that. So yeah. But you told me I think I asked you once, I finally caved in. I was like, who was the hardest motherfucker you ever fought? Yeah. And you told me, I forgot already, but who was the hardest hitting man? You used the term manhandled. Like, who was that guy again?
Randy Couture.
That's right. I wanted to say that.
He manhandled me. So at that time, I was 27 years old, and he was 40.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, he was 40.
That's a dad age right there.
Yeah, and it was literally like dad grabbing a hold of me and ragdoll and shit. I mean, I never had a dad, so I can only say that because I've seen it on movies. But I said, no way this old man's going to beat me. I was the world champion. I was a 5-time defending world champion. I was smashing everybody I ever competed against. And I said, no way this old man's going to beat me. Damn it. Every single round, it seemed like I was digging the hole deeper and deeper. He kept inside tripping me, body locking me, dumping to my back. I mean, never really caused much damage, never really hurt me, but just dominated me. I couldn't get away from it. It felt like a fucking vice grips grabbed onto me. I come to realize that he's been wrestling longer than I was even alive. He was wrestling for 30 years. And I was only 27, but he just that cognitive skills that you learn of doing repetition over and over and over again. And now I get it. I mean, I'm 47 now, and I started my career at 22. I never fought before. I never trained before. I mean, I literally trained for 6 months prior to my first fight. I never fought an amateur. I literally fought my first UFC 13, May 30th, 1987 for free because I had to fight as an amateur. So I didn't get any. So I was able to keep my scholarship. But that's when my career started. I became a world champion a year and a half later. And then after that, it was like insane. My career was going. I was still learning. I was
OJT.
I was literally still getting better and better and better as I did it. It was like just the evolution of my career has just been so amazing. Then I got tarnished with injuries. ACL replacement, 50% meniscus taken out, L4-5 S1 fused to my lower back, T3, T2, T2, T1, T1, C7 disc replacement, C7, C6 fuse, C6, C5 fuse, C5, C4 disc replacement. I reattached retina, probably about 20 concussions I would remember. I remember 2 good ones because I didn't remember like the whole week at all. But I've had some serious injuries that I've been able to bounce back. Once again, is that just a challenge of my character from God? Is he challenging me to see what type of man I am, or if I'm going to quit? Because there's been other fighters that had the same injuries and had the same surgeries that quit. They never fought again ever. But to me, it was a challenge. It was a challenge to see what type of character I truly was. Am I a soldier? Am I a man of my word? Am I a man to step up and still support and take care of my family on something that I love to do? And fighting is what I love to do. And that's why I've been able to do it for 25 years.
Damn. It's
Randy Couture, huh? That's pretty awesome.
And he's a huge supporter of the military. I can imagine a lot of your viewers met Randy before. And if you have met Randy before, you know. But if you haven't met him before and you are going to see him anytime soon, tell him that his son Tito said hello. So we, yeah. So I call him Dad. He's my dad. Because in our fight, when he beat me, he spanked me in the 4th round. I was trying to go for our 5th round. I was trying to go for a knee bar, and I went for a heel hook. And the only position he had was to see my ass. So he started punching me in the ass. Then he started punching me, and he started spanking me.
I don't remember seeing that.
This motherfucker. But I mean, later on in life, we do a lot of charity events for Make-A-Wish, and it's called Waiting for Wishes. And we usually go out the night before drinking and stuff. So we're at this bar, a local bar and everything. And we're all drinking, having shots, having a good time. And some chick walks up. She was really hot. She walked up and she goes, excuse me, Tito? I go, yeah, what's up? I was like, right on, what's up? She's like, can I take a picture of you and your dad? Well, yes, you can. Yeah. I go, hey, Dad.
Hold this picture, Dad.
I go, hey, Dad. He's like, look around. I'm all, Dad, come here. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I go, Dad, she wants to take a picture with me and you. He goes, So she stood in between us and she took a picture with us. So for all you guys,
that's awesome.
He's a huge supporter of the military. I know he does a lot of stuff back in LA. He does a lot of stuff across the United States. But if you do see him, tell him his son Tito said hi.
Yeah, that's a big story.
So we'll wrap this up. So with this last question, so I know you said obviously you're new to Florida. You got any new projects that you're working on or anything that you're building right now that we can send people? I'll definitely in the notes for the podcast in the description on our YouTube stuff, we'll add your Instagram and have people head over there. But is there anything that you're working on or anything that you want to highlight right now?
Well, I mean, I've always been a person of hard work and dedication, and I've understood when I worked for Donald Trump back in 2008 on the Celebrity Apprentice is how do you stay being a millionaire and have 5 sources of income coming in. And before post 2020, I almost had that 5th one, and after 2020, all of them are pretty much gone, and so it's me to rebuild again. So right now we're working on doing a restaurant, Tito's Cantina.
No way.
Yep. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start it here. That, and I'm going to get back in the used car business with TO Auto Group. So I think this is more for the public in general. I mean, the word can be put out, but it's going to happen anyways. That and getting into real estate. Looking on doing a fishing charter business here in Cape Coral, Fort Myers area. That and possibly working with the government, with Border Patrol, and hopefully working with Homeland Security and getting a government job of doing hand-to-hand combat training. You know, the non-lethal stuff, the stuff to help out, to teach these guys how to manhandle someone the right way without hurting them, without choking them unconscious, killing them, to cause the least amount of damage, to protect themselves.
Get the job done.
Yeah, to get the job done the right way, to cuff them, get them done, get them shipped, and, you know, hog time, as I say. You know, I worked with the guys yesterday. I got a great opportunity from my friend Johnny, the one that did the punching bag thing, and he introduced me with the Homeland Security here in Fort Myers, and we did a little training for about an hour and a half, and the guys loved it. You know, I taught us some stuff, because usually when the guys get on the ground, they hold their hands and they try to keep from getting handcuffed. And I taught them how to bar arm out, be able to put their arm across, do the other side, and cuff them, wrap them, done deal. So those type of things awesome. That I worked on when I went to Iraq. I worked with a lot of special force guys there. I worked in hand-to-hand, close combat stuff with no weapons, of course. And then I worked in Destin, also doing that. And I worked Fort Benning. I'd done that. What is the other place in Cap Pendleton? I've done that. Worked with the CHP in California. So, you know, I have a good resume of people that I've worked with. And like I say, I just want to protect them and, of course, protect the persons that they try to arrest the right way, not hurting them. I walked in and the guys are training, and then I see him blocking a punch and punching back and kneeing back. I'm like, no, no, no. And I don't want to make fun of the coach that was there. I mean, I just met him. He's a really awesome jiu-jitsu guy. But the least thing that I've always learned when I did security when I was a kid, when I used to be a bar bouncer, was to not put your hands on somebody. If you did put your hands on somebody, it was to subdue them. And that was the chokes. That was, just grabbing front headlocks on people and subduing them, get them out the door, and just get everything away as quick as possible. And this is the type of things that you could do. And now you can handcuff someone, and this is the type of things that I did. I mean, a lot when I was in Iraq we learned collar chokes, using people of their shirts and everything, and be able to collar choke them, be able to wrap them up, guillotines, rear naked chokes, front headlock chokes, a lot of things to get guys suppressed super fast. And that's the stuff that I would like to work, especially with Border Patrol right now, because I know the border is it's in turmoil of what's happening there right now. There's a war going on in Mexico, and people don't know about it. It's not on mainstream media at all. It's the cartel versus the Mexican government, and it's at our border right now. And hopefully it doesn't spill into America. Hopefully Congress and the Senate will step up and make the right decisions for our country and our border right now, because Border Patrol needs help. They need a lot of help. And if I could give a little bit of knowledge of hand-to-hand combat and close quarters to help them out, to make them feel a little safer, I'm all in. Like I said, the thing I did yesterday was completely for free. I didn't charge them anything. I go out of my way just to help for my community. And that's what they've done for our community. So the least that I can do as a civilian to give back. And like I say, so I'm kind of waiting for the government to clear me through for a government job, hopefully. So that'll be a government job on the down low of not being a part of the government as a politician, but being a part of the government to help our
support side.
The support side. It's
I like that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you got any closing thoughts there, Jason?
Nah. Okay, maybe I got one, man. Like so previously, in moving forward, we like to bring up like a memorable, like funny moment. So obviously, your background is huge in UFC for 25 years. Can you think of like just something hilarious, funny that happened maybe on the mat, to like in training, something that you witnessed? Because I love fucking to laugh. I love hilarious stories. And we're going to have a lot more of those coming, man.
All right. So for all your viewers, and you guys know Quentin Rampage Jackson, former light heavyweight world champion, UFC, former Pride fighter. So me and him were team punishment. He was my token black guy on our team. I say that jokingly. I mean, I'm Mexican. I got black in me too, so whatever. But we would wrestle, and this was back in 1999, I think. And we would do jiu-jitsu wrestling where we try to submit each other and choke each other out, take each other down and shit. And this one training, I didn't have underwear. And wearing shorts. And I took him down. I got a side choke, and I went to go mount him. And then he kind of swept around, and his face got to my balls. And actually, my balls are showing free, and his balls got on his face, and he started tapping out. From that, and he'll tell this story himself too, because he always says it. That's what I got to say. It's something through my career that makes me laugh, and I know we're both kosher on the deal, so it's not a problem. But that was one of the things. I made Rampage Jackson tap out from my nuts. So I know I got some big ass
nuts.
Yes, sir.
Broke his jaw.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. It was just a situation. I think of just being in that position.
What are you fucking saying?
This is his story. And he goes, "Fucking you, you dirty bastard! Why did you got no underwear on?" I go, "I forgot to put them on." I mean, at the time, I barely had anything. I mean, I was making nothing. So it was like, I forgot if I do laundry. It was just one of those days.
Yeah.
I mean, I was making sure I was there on time for training. That was my biggest thing.
How do they taste, Quentin?
Oh, yeah, right? Taste
oh, my God. All right.
That's a good note to end it on.
That was pretty hilarious.
Can I end on some just a little bit that really, because I watched a show, I think it was it MVP for soldiers, for guys who are at the end of their career, who I'm at the end of my career. And I know a lot of you guys have come back after serving everything, and you guys have been, I don't want to say institutionalized, but it's kind of like that, because I was institutionalized of training every single day, doing 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. And I've done it for 25 years, and all of a sudden now my career is done. And I know a lot of you guys that come back from war and from serving, and you get back home and you don't have no alarm clock. You don't have anybody telling you what to do. You don't have to get, maybe you do have a job and you're able to work, but some of the other guys that don't have that, they feel have no self-worth. You're not alone. There is another opportunity to either get in the gym reach out to one of your other brothers, make a team together, do something outside the box, because life is not over once you're done serving. And I think this is really, really important, because I watched this MVP movie and it really touched me, because I've been on the highest pedestal in the world and been treated like royalty. And I've had it taken away in literally one night. And now that I'm at the end of my career, I look at those times, and those times were so grand and so great. And there's times that I was at the bottom of the fucking barrel where it hurt and I cried and I was like, why is this happening to me? And I can't handle this shit. And why and why and why? And I come to realize, I look in the mirror and I said, it's just the stuff that I need to do for myself to make myself happy. What do I need to do to make myself happy? And for me, what made me a better man in my own mind and made me happier each and every day was to giving back to others. And that's why I do so much with the military, to try to help back for our veterans, try to help back for them. And maybe you guys have gone through some things in life that some of the young recruits have never gone through. To be there and be support for them. I've had a few guys who have served, and they're like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, well, what do you do? He goes, fuck, I know how to shoot. I know how to kill people. I go, well, why don't you get a job downrange and just try to fucking teach people what you do the best? And this is the type of opportunities that you guys could have. I mean, maybe some of you, I mean, I've done it. I get a therapist. I mean, therapist is the best thing in the world for everyone. I mean, there has to be a time where you guys need to sit down and talk to the people that will understand the situation that you've gone through, because everybody has gone through what you've gone through. And you may think that, oh, Tito don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Buddy, I've gone through some things that no one else has gone through, but there's people that have gone through some of the things that I have gone through, truthfully, a little bit. And I don't take myself as being a victim. I'm a victor, and I'm going to make myself successful no matter what. I'm not going to sit there and go, woe's me, and fucking, oh, it's that person's fault and that person's fault. No, I take responsibility for my own actions. And for you guys that are watching this right now, I've given my half of my story that I've told, and there's so much detail in the fine print that I've lived through my life. But anything is possible once you set your mind to it. And don't feel like, oh, woe is me, and fucking this is my fault because I served this time. And, you know, and a lot of my brothers that are really close friends that served in Afghanistan, to pull out from that whole situation, that's a whole different story. But it's not your problem. It's not your fault. At the end of the day, you can only control what's in your environment and in your circle. I always talk about that prior. So reach out to your brothers. If you haven't talked to them in a long time, reach out to them. Send them an email. Send them a text. Give a call. And ask them how they're doing. Let them know how you're doing. And like I say, I get calls all the time. And when I've done this Real Warriors with Jason and Joey, I met many of fucking heroes to me, because you guys are soldiers. You guys are just not soldiers. You guys are heroes to us. You guys have fought for our country. You guys have put your fucking life on the line for what our forefathers fought for, this fucking Constitution, the freedoms that we have right now. So we're thankful for you guys. I mean, I love each and every one of you guys. I mean, I know any of you guys, but I still have love for you. Whenever I see you, I'll shake your hand and say, thank you very much. I'll go out of my way to take a picture. I'll go out of my way to ask any answers. I mean, you guys want to fucking follow me on Instagram, Tito Ortiz 1999. Give me a direct message. Ask me anything. I mean, I'll call you and say, what's up? I mean, I'm willing to do that, because as a civilian, I'm thankful for what you guys have done for our country, and let you guys know you are not alone. You guys are not alone at all. There's brothers like this, like Kim, that are here to help and to give knowledge, to give examples of life that is hard. Because this life that is given, it's not hard. As I tell my kids, this is the most vicious world that we'll ever live through. But if we can get through it and we can help each other hand in hand and make this happen, I guarantee we can get through this together. Yeah. This is something I just want to close with, because it really means a lot to me. As I watch the MVP movie and to see a lot of these professional athletes that have done their career, and all of a sudden they were the superstars of their career, and now they have nothing. It's like, what do they do? See, military, they go out and they serve for their country, they come back, and all of a sudden they're forgot about. It's like, what do they do? Yeah. Now I see why there's so many homeless that people go through, you know, troublesome times or mental health. I get it now. I get it. I understand it. And it's hard. And the best way to keep that away from not happening all the time is to drink alcohol, to do drugs. And I think, you know what that is? That's just putting a Band-Aid on an open wound. That's all it is. And when that you fucking rip those Band-Aids off and you lick that wound and you say, you know what, I'm going to make a difference right now. And maybe it is you getting sober. Like I did it for the new year. It is you just making a difference. It is you reaching out to your brother, reaching out to your sister, reaching out to a family member. Because sometimes your family members don't give a shit. And then that's hard to say because I've already lived through it. There's family members I don't even talk to anymore because of my political views of being a conservative person that loves God and loves our country. And it's crazy. It's mind-blowing the way the situation in our lives are right now. But I promise you, you make it through this time right now, you'll be warriors forever. And you'll thank all of us for making this happen. But like I say, I'm a human. I cry, I bleed, I sweat just like you. And fucking life is hard. But you know what's easy? It's taking your own life, and don't ever do that, because that's the easy way. That is a permanent solution for a temporary problem. And you do not want that to happen. So like I say, man up, fucking call it ruck up, right?
Yeah, ruck up.
Ruck up. Be responsible for your actions. Look in the mirror every night. And this is, I tell my kids, look in the mirror every night and say, have you done something good today? Have you did something to make yourself stronger today? Read a book. Fucking, that's how easy it can be. Read a book. Go find therapy. Little small things like this. Talk to one of your brothers that you served with. Reach out to them and make the difference. And that's how you can make a difference. That's for yourself, but for your community, for the people you're around, for all your friends.
You said it right there, dude. I've noticed in like my darkest times, like, you know, the woe is me mindset. You nailed it right there. If you guys are in that position, go help someone else.
Yes.
When you're fucked up and like just you feel like a piece of shit, like go help a lady at the fucking grocery store with her groceries, man. Like she's having a problem reaching something, help out. And that one little feeling is fucking priceless. And not just do it for yourself because that feels good, but like you're actually, the smile you put on her face, man, I do it all the time. Like I've found multiple wallets. I fucking go out of my way to call, like, yo, dude, there's $14 in here and it's still in here, man. Like I'll drive it to your house or I'll put it in their fucking mailbox, man. Like just, you know, we've all done a lot of shitty things in our lives, you know, like you got to start putting more coins in the good karma bucket, you know?
Yeah, you got to put back in the bucket. Instead of having people take it out of your bucket, you got to put back in the bucket. Fill your bucket, start filling other people's buckets, and it's important for sure.
Absolutely, man. Well, dude, so damn good to see you again.
Yes,
I'm glad you're here in Florida.
Can't wait to start fishing with you, so be excited.
I know. We've been talking about it for a bit. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
I'm proud of you for what you did, especially going overseas 6 times. Like it's fucking mind.
I would love to do it again. My boys are old enough now. I would love to go again as long as I'm in the right with the right team.
Yeah. Well, luckily the war is for the most part over.
Yeah.
We need to lick our wounds for a bit.
Yeah.
And heal for the next one that's probably going to come.
Right.
So hopefully not. Yeah, you got anything, Patrick?
We'll get all trained up with some airsoft. We'll get your boys ready.
Yeah, no, they'll be in. They like pain, which I've given a lot to them, but they've been able to live through it. So I got some soldiers already.
You got some tough kids.
Yeah, they're fucking tough. They're super tough.
Well, cool, guys. Thanks so much for joining in on our new podcast. You know, he's our first big guest, not the last, but it's an honor to be here in front of you, man. It's pretty surreal, to be honest. So.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. And for all the viewers, guys, thank you so much for listening to my story, spend time with us, and, just hearing real life. It's real life, man. This is all real life shit. I've gone through a lot, and I can be thankful for where I am. And it wasn't for you guys who fought for our country, we couldn't still be fighting the way a lot of people are fighting the right way right now, fighting the right fight and being on the right side of history. And I'm one of them. God bless. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
This has been Savage Actual. Jason and Patrick are 2 former special operations guys who interview interesting guests who talk about video games, airsoft, and military subjects. Basically, they drink a lot of beer, talk about shooter games, and have fun. What's not to love? We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And the fellas will be back soon. But in the meantime, find them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Savage Actual. Y'all be cool, and we'll see you next time.